Hello, hello. What? You can dance. It's okay. It's good, isn't it? It's fun. So there you go. Everyone, please welcome Jane the Seeker.
Hello.
Please like, subscribe to Jane the Seeker Tarot. And just making sure. And tomorrow is Tuesdays with Tarot Stash exclusively on Jane the Seeker. So if you came for reading today, show up tomorrow at 9:15 Eastern Standard. So you will be able to see us then. There's Jane, how are you? Let's start with that.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm here for as long as I can be. Up there.
Okay, you have to tell people what's going on.
Okay, we're under a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado watch.
Okay.
But everything seems to be a little south of us. It doesn't feel like it's going to come here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I get it.
weather does what it's going to do, whether or not
Weather does. Yes. Yes.
Weather is.
So I want to be respectful of everybody's time. One of my goals is just to try to keep Laugh and Learns and stuff to as close to an hour as possible. So welcome to the Laugh and Learn, an introduction to Archangels. Now, this happened because weren't you and I we were chatting, and it sort of was this. Actually, I asked you. I wanted to do Archangels because that would be a good topic, and this is so. You work personally with a lot of archangels or angels.
Yeah, they work with me.
Yep.
It's more like it. They showed up one day and I was like, oh.
They work with, okay. Yeah. So here's I thought what we could do is we could start with a basic introduction to I gave Jane the very challenging thing to go pick just a few archangels. Look at her. She was like, oh, and she's like, Gerald, we could talk about this. Yeah, we could talk about this for a long time. And if people are interested in it, people giving thumbs up, commenting as they walk back or watch back as they walk back. Um, as they watch back. If they want us to talk more about them, this is wonderful. I would be happy to do that. So, and
an orb, you know what? An orb just flew in front of me. Anyway,
I don't know. I'll have to see that on the playback.
Yeah. Anyway,
we have a lot of wonderful people in chat, Scott, Pierrette, Lisa, and Lisa, and Beth, and Robin, and oh my gosh. Okay, so hello everyone. I'm sorry, I'm too tired to sit and type. I'm going to listen. That's cool. Lynn Hayes is here. Hello, Lynn. Good to see you. And Manasa is here. Hello. Manasa has said she has worked with several of the archangels interested in the subject. Linda de Gonzalez. And, Jane, I said I wasn't going to go through and say hi to everybody. Obviously, that's working out well. Scott says, Jane! Lisa Niedermeyer is here. Maruda. Viviani. Okay. Jackie Jacaranda. Hello. Ivana Intuitive, lots of great people. And so thank you. Pia's Life, hello. Glad I found you on a few days ago. Thank you. What are you?
Purple Deb.
Jamie, Wandering Mountain Bardic Path is here. And just for those of you who follow along, those of you who follow along, back and forth with Jamie and Gerald tomorrow, with Richie Longman Tarot asking us the questions. So there you go. And my chat just jumped. So Jonathan is here. Hello. Miss Charlotte. Love it. Leor. And I did say P is life. I'm glad you're here. It's wonderful to have new people here. And there's Purple Elephant Deb H. Yay. Okay, so we have a lot of people here. This is wonderful. And I want to, Jane and I have talked about this, and let's just first start with, what's an archangel?
Funny you should ask. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
It's like you prepared or something.
Well, from what I have found out, the archangels are the angels that were mentioned in the Bible. Now,
okay.
The thing that we need to all understand is archangels, angels, all of that is really lore.
Okay.
And in the Bible, it does mention it mentions a couple of the archangels by name. And there were a couple that walked the earth here we go. So God created the angels and gave them free will. Just like we all have free will.
Yes.
The archangels are the angels who said, no, we don't need free will. We want to work for you.
Okay.
And so that's why the archangels have names like Michael, Jophiel, Samuel, Raphael, because EL means of God.
Okay. Okay.
So, and from my understanding, from looking at all different kinds of information to do this, actually, is the archangels are not the highest in the angel realm. They are not.
Okay.
They're the ones that work more with us. So therefore, they can't be of the highest vibration because otherwise they wouldn't be able to work with us.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Doesn't that make sense? Right?
It does. Okay. Yeah.
Like we kind of have to raise, there's Pamela Batchelor. We kind of have to raise our vibrations up, and they kind of come, we do this.
Yes.
To meet with them.
And that's like, I think it's like that anytime we work with deity, angels, guides, things like that, there does have to be an adjustment.
So. Exactly. And it is, I am of the thought that really that everything that we call deities, goddesses, all of these things, I really think they're all just a mismatch of we Kali Ma, for example, could possibly be also an archangel. It's just one train of thought, one school of thought, one whatever calls them Kali Ma, where the Catholics call them Archangel Zadkiel.
Right. So remind us what Kali Ma is.
Kali Ma is the goddess of the goddess of, so sorry, you guys, I wasn't prepared for goddesses and Kali Ma, but she's this person right here.
Okay.
And she comes.
Kali, yes, Kali. Okay, creator, destroyer, creator, destruction. Yep. Okay, we've got some people helping in.
Thank you. Which on my community page, I was like, "Come on, chat, bring it."
Well, okay. And speaking of chat, Thankful is here, and Karen Johnson, Miss Charlotte. Am at work getting paid to be with you. So there you go. PD Connects is here. Hello, glad to have you here. I've probably missed some other people. Angels of Manifestation of Source. I could see that, yes.
Yeah,
Getting caught up. Lisa said that makes sense what you're saying. Pamela Batchelor, there's Pamela. Manasa said, yes, they can still be the highest level of angels and still work with us. And Lisa saw the wings, first one to mention it that I could see. So Lisa Rhodes says, I always thought they were defenders. Um, uh, yes. Here you go. One culture, different languages. And I agree with you. There's a lot of mic drop. I mean, there's so many variations I find in a lot of different cultures, and this makes me very excited, Jane, is um, there's so many similarities if we just remove the barrier of language and seek to understand, okay, what does that deity do? Oh, okay. And we get that. So
yeah.
everybody get a manicure. Yeah, great.
Hi, Miss Taro D. It's 11:11 where Jamie is. That's a good angel number.
Yes, it is.
And also, too, yeah, I truly believe that that what I might call Archangel Michael, another, the Buddhist might be an ascended master, whomever.
Yeah.
It's all there. But like I said, I think there are higher realms supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't been there, not at least not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I haven't been there but yeah, there's angels that are higher. These are just the ones that get to work with us, and there's also angels that are the lower angels.
Okay. And by saying archangels, lower angels, higher angels, there's no judgment. It's just to help this little brain to think about it. So
and it's because humans are so into labels. It's like
girl, you said it.
we have to label everything.
Yes, and this is for inspirational and educational purposes only, for entertainment purposes only. Speaking of labels, do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Talk to the archangels yourself.
Yeah, and angels. Yeah, and I like what
Yes.
Maruda says. It's just their job assignments. Yes.
Yeah. And Deb H. Purple Elephant said they have specific jobs, no ego involved. And I think I want to make sure that, we do love to label. We do love to label. I think it's important to, um, uh, I remember you telling me you created a YouTube channel because you wanted to read with the angels and you wanted to help doing stuff with the angels. And you are doing more of that. Thank you. And I noticed you weren't on live today, probably getting ready for this last minute cramming. So thank you. Um, could you share with everybody your story of how you became to work with the archangels if you want to do that? Do you want to
Sure.
do that now? Okay.
Sure. I'll shorten it as much as possible.
Okay.
Because it's, as my understanding and in through my life, as I connect the dots of my life, because a 3-year-old Jane saw all these beings around her bed all the time. And I thought that they were doctors and surgeons and nurses. And I used to go running into my parents' room. They're gonna operate on me. They're gonna operate on me. There's nobody in here. They come in, look, turn on the light. There's nobody there. And then when I was 17, that's when I had my near death experience. And I think that and I've had not several. I've had a few operations and a lot of procedures and things like that. Um, and I think what they were really saying to me was, you're going to go through these things in life and we will always be with you.
That's really powerful.
Yeah, that's what I connected.
And is that true?
Well, I didn't
Have
die.
they?
I had my near-death experience.
Thank goodness. Everybody put your tiny hands up. Jane the Seeker
Jamie's
did not
here.
die. Oh, Jamie, avert
Avert your
your
gaze.
eyes. It's the tiny hand alert. But
My tiny hands are,
yeah.
this one won't stay on its stick, or its arm, I mean. Sorry,
Oh
tiny hand.
my. Well, and Beth mentioned we label because our minds want to identify and contain. The smaller the mind, the more it labels.
True.
Yes, well said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And same thing with time and, you know, everything everything. It's just
Yeah.
an earthly thing. And
Well, and I wanna actually say, because we label to understand, and so that we can group things together. I like to associate things, so it just doesn't. There's so many possibilities, but this is how my brain works. So
and it works
can't
well.
figure it out. Yeah.
I like
Hi,
it.
Mama Bear.
Hey, Mama Bear.
So.
Well, then what really happened? So that happened, and I really at
Mhm.
that point didn't understand or think about it. And then it was about, well, I've always been a psychic medium my entire life. I mean, that's just like, I've tried to stop it. I've tried to disconnect and couldn't happen. But about 10 years or maybe even more than that, I'm not sure, Archangel Uriel showed up. And I have heard several people say, I don't know why, but Archangel Uriel's hanging around. And I think that Archangel Uriel happens to come to a lot of people.
Mhm.
They're starting to, I think Archangel Uriel's the like, here I am, let's do this. I'm okay.
Sure. Mhm.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things that, archangels, and you and I've talked about this. It's important to remember that yes, they archangels, while they have different areas of expertise or areas that we call upon them, they can do whatever the heck they want whenever they want it, especially as the need. And so, as I've had some experiences with archangels. You've had more. You've had more. Um, and so, this is a thing where I'd like to encourage people to be willing to have their own experiences with the archangels. And if it's different than what you've read in the book or what you see in the card, don't doubt it. It's your personal experience, because they're working with you and for you and because of you, and they have our best interest in mind, I believe.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. And here it is. Let's see. Like I know we're talking about archangels, but you see this book, I'm one of those. Oh, and look at one of Robin's cards is in here.
There you go.
It says, because remember, I think I was telling you that I feel like our guardian angels, how everybody has like,
Hmm.
I really truly believe everybody has a guardian angel, but
Hmm.
I do believe that, and I didn't know where I got this from, but I was like, I really think that our guardian angel is our higher self, because who knows us better than us?
True.
Right. And so, under the section of guardian angels, it says we all have our own guardian angels who will never leave us. Our guardian angel is appointed to us when we first incarnate. They journey with us through our incarnations, evolving as we evolve through a shared destiny. And then it goes da 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 da. And then it says, some people feel their guardian angel is actually their higher self. As
Ah.
Buddhist teaching, it is our Buddha nature, the divine spark within each individual. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought that guardian angels deserved a little shout out.
I think so. And there's some wonderful stuff in chat, and I'm unfortunately not going to keep up with it, but I agree to the fact, Ms. Terra D said, I don't think I was ever really close with angels. And it's because you are an angel. There you go. And Early Ritual is here. Hi, Tom. Good to see you. And so Genealogy Junkie is here. Hello. Um, And so, okay, and I apologize. Yeah, yes, wake up, and they're always there to help. Even show you what joy is. Absolutely, absolutely. And here's the thing. I want to your higher self aha moment for PD. Here's the thing. I wonder what would happen if we spent if we don't usually speak with archangels or angels. What would happen if we started to do that and to pay attention to small things? What do you think would happen, Jane?
Your whole world changes. Everything you thought you knew, everything that it all you, and once you see it and once you become connected, it's one of those things, those things that once you've seen them, you can't unsee them. And you're like,
Yes,
oh, I'll never unsee that. I think it's the same thing with angels. Once
I
you
would
see
agree
it,
with you.
yeah, you can't unsee it. It changes you.
Hmm.
I mean, I've always been extremely shy. I mean, so shy to the point that people thought I didn't speak English. They
Hmm.
thought I was when I was younger. And but here I am on YouTube talking with you, and I have my own, like, one morning I just got up and went, gosh darn it, I'm doing it. And I went
There you go. Yeah.
and so it's like people need to know about the angels. And I was sort of trying to be counter. I was trying to give a message of hope when all the messages were different messages out there at that particular time that I started. I mean, so
Well, everybody show Jane the Secret Tarot some love. Go over, like, subscribe, ring the bell, because Jane, you do give a lot of hope simply by being your authentic self. And I genuinely mean that.
thank you.
So you're welcome. There is so much good stuff going on in chat. I am loving this, and I'm trying to capture the ones that I can. And yes, they start giving you wild signs. You would laugh so much more. Those beans are hilarious. I think yes, they can be hilarious. They can be serious, comforting. Ivana Intuitive says, I feel a connection with Uriel. Don't feel that close to him, but don't feel that close to him. Then I found out about Metatron and feel really close to him. I read that Uriel taught Metatron about sacred geometry when he was Enoch.
Right, exactly. And
Spoiler alert, stay to the end. You're going to see some more stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
and Beth said, Jane, I met my guardian angel, or an angel assigned to me. He came to me in earthly form and really helped me, like advised me. I'll never forget him.
That's
That's
awesome.
incredible.
Yeah.
Perhaps the angels are close to you without you knowing. I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so just get caught up. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take a sip
Oh,
because
I
there's
will
so
with
many
you.
good things. I'm
It was
drinking iced coffee.
I'm drinking, I was just going to tell you, I'm drinking dandelion tea. And I said to my husband, I'm like, It tastes like dirt. He goes, you mean it tastes like earth? And I'm like, no, it tastes like dirt. And he's like, it tastes like earth. And I'm like, no, it tastes like dirt. Oh.
There you go. Tom, Early Ritual asked, I always had trouble connecting with certain magical systems because of the reliance on archangels, etc. I have an issue connecting to Christian associations, especially on the angelic side. I get that. I understand that, and part of that is doing the work to see beyond, to see beyond the limitations that has put on it. Scott had mentioned something about there's supposed to be an archangel associated with each of the chakras. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Actually, that will be for the next one.
there you go.
Because I have actually, you remember the Angels of Emanation deck that I showed you?
Uh-huh.
Those are really cool. Those are
Hmm.
those angels are on the Tree of Life.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
anyways, that could be another one. The Tree of Life, angels.
I'm
What are
writing
they?
this down.
What are they doing hanging on that tree? And
Yeah.
also too, like praying to connect with your angels more. That's good too. And here's the thing, it's like they say that we are given free will, and that angels just can't come willy-nilly messing around in our lives. We have to ask them. But here's it's not always quite an ask. Let's say you're driving in your car, and
Hmm.
all of a sudden, oh my gosh, somebody brakes really hard in front of you, and you
Yes.
know you're about to hit them, and then you're going to get hit, and you just go, oh my god, oh help, or whatever. That's an ask,
Hmm.
even if you don't say it
Yep.
out loud. But if you think it, if you're just like, oh no, help, that's an
Yeah.
ask. It doesn't have to be a
S-
specific, like Archangel Michael. I mean, it would take too long.
Yeah. Oh, very true. Very true. I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us. We see a lot of people chatting and watching. Thank you. Um, Jane, how about we start? Oh, please like and subscribe. You got that. How about we start with the first archangel, which we have Michael.
Michael, yes.
So, and you tell me when you want me to add the bonus material.
Okay. Well, why don't we just go through? You know what would be a good thing to do would be just to go through these. There's so many. Okay. Here's the other thing that I found out, and I'm so sorry but there's so many different. There's supposed to be like 7 archangels, according to the
Hmm.
Bible.
Sure.
But if you look, there's so many more than 7 archangels.
Of course. Yeah.
So trying to pick out, like, I was going crazy, going, well, what's this archangel? What's that archangel? And I think,
Sure.
like, Archangel Uriel, I think is also Archangel Ariel. So I think that it's I think it's like I said, our labels, our naming them. There's a crossover. Are they ETs? Who knows?
Mm.
Okay. All right. So the first one that we have is Archangel Michael. Oh,
Yes.
Uriel. Sorry, Michael. So Archangel Michael is, of course, everybody knows that Archangel Michael is the archangel of protection, and Archangel Michael is the one archangel that can be everywhere at once with everyone. Like he's the one that can just
Hmm.
like everybody, like if
Sure.
y'all, you
Sure.
know, and his the angel that sort of travels around with Michael is Archangel Faith, or just Angel Faith. Yes, and
Hmm.
their retreat, their esoteric
Esoteric. That sounds good.
esoteric retreat is over Lake Louise in Banff, Canada, which
Hmm.
is interesting that I read that because, yes, exactly, Manasa. I
Yep.
always thought that Archangel Michael's retreat was over Ukraine,
Yes.
but it's so yes, Archangel Michael is, so I don't know why. Well, anyways, we won't go there. Um, and then his color is blue. He's for protection.
Mm-hmm.
So he would be the throat
Mm-hmm.
chakra too if he's blue.
Sure. Of course.
Um,
Jane pulled Archangel Haniel for me right off the bat, and she has been a perfect match for me ever since. There you
and
go.
Pamela Batchelor is a really good example. Like she was telling me she saw me on your channel and she was like, I don't do the angel thing, but I'll go check you out anyway. And she still doesn't really do like the angel things. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for her, but she was like, well, I think there's some value to this. So just because you may not think that you are connected to the angels, or you don't work with them, you don't know how to work with them, or you this, that, and the other thing, don't worry about it because they work with you
There you go. Yes.
and they will
Yes.
come to you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very true. Very true. And I'm also seeing, can an ask be unverbal in your mind, or does it have to be said verbally out loud? It's totally however you need to get it out there. So
Actually, Ms. D, Ms. Tara D, that's why I was saying, like, when you're about to rear end a car, you don't have time to go, Archangel Michael, da, 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 da. I mean, it's just a
yeah.
thought in your head that just goes, oh,
Yep.
help me, here we go, and then that help is enough.
Yeah. And Ivana gave good advice. I just ask in my mind, heart, verbally, non-verbally, however I can. Sometimes I can't even formulate the question or request, so I just ask them to help me in the best way. So
Exactly. Exactly.
everybody in chat, you are doing amazingly well. Thank you. And Spiritual Rain has arrived. So
Like on this, and and I started out with these cards, excuse me, and these are not the best, this is Doreen Virtue, but this was what I got in 19 whatever it was, 2002.
mm-hmm,
It's what
mm-hmm.
was available. But
Sure.
it really has a lot of, like, here, and here's Archangel Michael right here. It says, remember who you are. And
Ah.
it says, you are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. And
Mm-hmm.
see all of that blue. So we know that Archangel Michael,
Yes.
and Archangel Michael has the sword, carries the sword, and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Jaffael, talk about Jaffael.
Jophiel, sure. Yeah. Jophiel. Jophiel is the yellow, the color associated with Jophiel is the yellow, which would be the solar plexus. The esoteric retreat is over the Great Wall of China near Lenchao. And it helps clear your space, and like Jophiel gives you the energy to clear your energy, to clean your house, to move the energy around your house,
Ah,
and to
okay.
relieve the stress, because um, it can be very stressful to have a whole bunch of junk around your house.
Yes.
So Jophiel helps relieve stress. I'm sure there's many, many, many more things. The angel of beauty. Yeah, there's, like, I just have the tiniest little things written down of, like, just the main points.
Sure. And Jane has got lots of books, she's got lots of decks, and just with anything, if you here you go. I'll put this up because everybody knows it's going to be there. Purchase responsibly, know your limits. We're not endorsing one book or another. Just, go to your local library, search the interwebs. There's a lot of possibilities and a lot of information to find out there. If y'all are watching this, you probably have some sort of an intuitive push. And if your intuition says maybe not, then pay attention to that. So,
Yeah. I mean, and I'm just kind of pulling because I know we're gonna. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and
so
here's Danielle. Do I already have send upon now? Okay, so I'm. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Joe Fael. There's Samuel. Hang on one second. Here's Joe Fael. So here's one of Joe Fael's cards. It says, "Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience." So Joe Fael, although it's the yellow and the solar plexus, it's also teaching about patience.
hmm
You know.
yeah,
Uh,
I like that. I like that.
I did have a big thing about all the different clairs that the angels were associated with excuse me, with.
I can confidently tell people there will be a part two and maybe a part three. And I know several people who are watching who work with archangels. And to be honest with you, to prove the point that everybody has a personal relationship with them, I would love to pick an archangel. And Tanis from Twillo Lifestyle Academy works with the archangels. She may be watching, they may not be, but I would love to have a conversation. We pick an archangel, we work with it, and we have a conversation, because isn't that the power and the beauty of these beings?
That's an
They
excellent idea. That's a
so if you
good idea.
let me know in the comments if you like that.
Yeah, I
You
have
know,
the angel these ones. Manasseh's talking about these ones, the angel prayers.
okay.
So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I got those too. Those are good if you need a nice little prayer and you want to pick a prayer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yay, part two and part three.
There you go. Okay.
Job security.
Job security.
Shemyo.
Samuel.
Shemyo. All right. And interestingly enough, I am going to say in this book that I have, and I don't highly recommend this book. This is just the book that I have. And one time I was visiting my mom for 3 months, and I went through this book a couple of times, and there's meditations in it where you can go to their esoteric retreats. And I went to in my meditation, I swear to you, this is honest truth. I went to Archangel Shamuel's esoteric retreat.
Ooh,
You can
nice.
do it in meditations. You can go there. And it was all what I saw was all uh, pink quartz. It was
Okay.
rose quartz, rose quartz.
Rose quartz. Hmm.
It was just this beautiful rose quartz, and it was just very loving and beautiful, and I wanted to just sit down and be there for a while, but I had to take care of my mom. And it's sort of like, they let you come there, and then you gotta, all right. But
Sure.
and then this card says, Archangel Shamiel, peace comes from remembering that only love is real.
Mm, okay.
So, and I have a lot of different cards, but I'm just using these because it has certain things. So,
And then there's more information.
oh,
Um,
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I'm like, of all places, really, you want to be over St. Louis? But I think that's why St. Louis built the arch.
oh, isn't that interesting? Okay.
Yeah, and so yeah, they it's Shamia means he who seeks God. They help you find things like such as jobs and such like things like that. Yeah. Oh, you
Hmm.
want that on there? Yeah, yeah. So one day I had a piece of paper up. It was like paperwork, and it was important, and I needed it, and I had lost it.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and it was like a really important piece. And I looked everywhere. I looked everywhere 3 times. I was sitting on the curb during my break, after work with my girlfriend, and it was back when I smoked cigarettes. And I'm like
Hmm.
sitting there smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to find this piece of paperwork, and I'm like, all right. And I said to my friend, I'm like, Camilla, just watch. And I said, dear angels, I need this piece of whatever it was, and I need you to put it where I absolutely cannot miss it. It needs to be
Mm-hmm.
out in the open. I don't have to pick up anything, and I need to find this piece of paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, I got up, I went into my car, and in the back seat of my car, and I had looked there already several times,
Mm-hmm.
sitting right on top of a bunch of different paperwork
Yep.
was that.
I love that. I love that. I want to catch up a little bit on chat because Ms. Tarot D had shared, I think my aversion to Christianity is a block in my angel work. I may have to do some shadow work around it, around this. And I would say just do some work. It doesn't have to be shadow, but just, and Tom said, early ritual said, it's a me thing. It's not the angel's fault. And it's just like, that's well said, because anytime we have an association with something, we can evolve and we can grow and we can understand it. That's part of being human, I think.
Yeah, and
So,
I understand that, Miss Tarot D, because I am not a Christian. I have never been a Christian. Um, uh, I believe that Jesus was here to teach us. I also believe that Jesus was a Buddhist. If I was going to do anything, I'm more
yeah,
Eastern, minded than Western minded, but I can still appreciate the angels, but call them angels. But then I'm like, but are they ETs? I mean, I often wonder about that, or what exact,
yeah.
you know, I don't think that they have to be associated with Christianity.
Well, and here's the thing, I think we are limiting ourselves by thinking of them in a specific way. And I am looking at some stuff here that I have and okay. So in the I'm going to, Spirit Keepers Tarot by Benabel Wynn, there are archangels. And these archangels, here's the angel of healing. We have the angel of mysteries. We have the angel of glory. And we have the archangel commander.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you look at these images, there is so much cultural variation that is woven into them. So I love the idea of, I mean, and in the book of maps, it it she goes into that. Benabel Wynn is really spectacular at that. And because think of it in them, if the word angels doesn't work for you, call them something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get on my high horse, because I mean they work for you, they work with you, they work because of you. You get their help. Do it. Show up and see what happens. So
And who's
okay.
to say we're not earth angels? I mean, I know there's earth angels.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's how many times have we've heard people describe somebody else as an angel. The timing of that, what you said, was perfect. Somebody gives you, buys you a cup of coffee on the worst day ever and changes thing. There's no limitations, people. I mean, don't even begin trying to get me to limit this. So
My,
anyhow, so what were you gonna say?
I said a smile, even just somebody who smile. You're having a bad day, and somebody who smiles at you.
Yep, yep. Um,
Okay, we going on to
Maruda studied archangels for a while and found my favorite pictures of each angel and printed them out in black and white, then color them in myself.
What a
That's
great
nice.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's, I mean, these are all sorts of possibilities. Um,
Oh, yeah.
um, Manasa is going to watch the playback. Okay, so Jane, I lean more toward Eastern philosophy. I lived in ashram for 3 years, and yeah, angels can be guides. You know,
Mhm. Yep.
don't you
Yep.
think that spirit guides and angels can be the same thing? And
Absolutely.
don't you think that, at least for me, when they want my attention, they're going to everybody is going to show up because I'm going to hear one of them or somebody else is going to hear them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the energy of these beings transcends our labels and description. The word angel means messenger.
Exactly.
Boom. I think that's a good description. And so call them messengers. I think this is so, so very much. So,
You which is a really great movie. I'm sorry, I shouldn't is City of Angels. And I just love the movie. I don't know why. It's one of those movies is how you feel like you have like 5 movies that you watch over and over and over again anytime you're feeling sad or lonely
sure, of
or
course.
sick and you pop in that movie. City of Angels is one of them. And one of the angels is they say in the movie it's like you can jump and so his last name Viviani watched City of Angels. He picked his
Hmm.
last name as Messenger, so and so Messenger.
Oh, yeah. Pia's life said, yes, sometimes we can let labels get in the way of how we look at or relate to things. And oh, Lisa loves that concept. And so, I mean, and let's finish up. We've got a couple of more angels to talk about in the interest of time, and then Jane and I will figure out a part two, maybe a part three. So the next one we have is Gabriel.
Gabriel, Mount Shasta is where Gabriel's esoteric retreat is, which kind of and their twin flame is hope. So sometimes you'll get a message from Angel Hope, but they're mostly about writing, journaling, parenting, can help with all kinds of things like that.
Mm,
And because they're above Mount Shasta, and a lot of people believe that aliens are in Mount Shasta. I'm not a big ET alien type person,
hmm.
but I do question that. And I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I have to say, um, Archangel Gabriel, who I know is Gabriella,
Right.
because gender fluid, gender non-specific, gender whatever you need to show up right then and there. They're angels, people. They're messengers. They're going to get your attention as best as they can. So, okay, so Raphael.
Ooh, Raphael. And ooh, I love this one about Raphael. Raphael's partner, they work together, team is Mother Mary. Which I
Hmm.
just absolutely love. And the color is green. It's healing. Raphael's called Heaven's Physician, and they're above Fatima, Portugal.
I love that. and
Mhm.
and I think it's really nice. So what you're doing is there the descriptive the where what you're saying is that's where their what is located, their spiritual center
Their esoteric
retreat.
retreat, yeah,
Okay,
because
their
they are
esoteric
okay,
retreat.
which really brings home the point of the archangels are really here for the earth, for us on the earth, and that's why they have these retreats in, and they all are in vortexes in different parts
Hmm.
of the earth, and they work on the ley lines and blah blah blah, all that kind
Yes.
of stuff, and that's another one. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And we have um Bims, hello, glad to have you here. Would love to learn more about Raphael. Jane, I have a feeling we're going to be doing several of these.
yeah, we could even
So
focus on like one angel at a time and maybe somebody else.
I think that would be great because what's I think is really important is, right now there's 41 people watching the chat. There's 41 different versions of how the archangel or how that messenger would show up, because that they show up perfectly for what we need. And when we lean into that and we embrace that, that's that's helpful.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
And it also even to relates to, and I don't know which one's which because everybody has a different idea, but well, the pages in the tarot are archangels. And I do believe
Hmm.
the one I know for sure is the page of swords is Michael.
Well, and in the Spirit Keepers Tarot, the revelations, the archangel are the kings, so full mastery of it, and it's fascinating,
Yeah, that's
fascinating.
yeah.
Lovely comments about the people who have been working with various archangels and things like that. I was told that Raphael is my angel.
Angel,
Well,
yeah.
you know what? Say hi, do something, light a candle, sing, say hi, have a conversation with. Okay, Uriel.
Uriel and Aurora. All right. They are over Krakow, Poland, peace and resurrection. And they are called, Uriel is the light of God. Um, oh, you have that on there. And claircognizance. It helps
Mm-hmm.
with your claircognizance. Words, not my first language.
It's
Uh,
written there. It's written there. So
that one right, that word right there.
there
Um,
you go.
so they do work with the clairs. So
And for those of you who've watched the previous Laugh and Learn with Betsy and Jamie, rewatch that, talk about them, and see. I think there's a big connection between spiritual practices, spiritual tools, and magic, because this idea of, I am in a coven. I
mhm.
work with archangels. I work with the angels. Why not?
Yeah,
Nobody said I couldn't.
right.
And if
I
you
mean,
did, you're wrong.
right. We can do it all.
Well, good, PD. I'm glad. I'm glad. I feel this live is making me realize more of my spirit guides. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
PD, I got to tell you, hi, Mary. I always feel like this is the way I envision my spirit guides, my spirit team, whatever you want to call them, is they're all balloons and they're connected to my back and they're all just hanging out up there and all these
Mm-hmm.
balloons and they just are always with me and
Yep.
they're balloons and whichever one I need at any particular time will come down and bop me on the head.
Because they will do that. They will do. See, and I get that experience a lot of times. I have different experience with deity, and I'm specifically using that because getting rid of, but and my experience with them is different than other people's. It's not better, it's not worse, it's not right or wrong, it's just different, and it works for me because it's that connection that I need. So, I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah.
We have one more
Zadkiel.
before we have our honorable mentions.
Oh, yes. Okay. Zadkiel, amethyst. It's over. Oh, and amethyst is an angel name. Works with
Oh, yes, let me put that up. There you go.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, divine guidance, help with clarification, clairaudience. They are over Cuba.
Hmm.
So yeah, and I think also Zadkiel um, is sometimes called Ariel. I mean it's there's so many names that and I
Yes.
think that there's a lot of overlap or they are completely separate, but I don't think that I think if you're having some sort of issue and you call in a particular angel. Let's say the only one you know is Michael at the time or whatever.
Sure.
That
Sure.
doesn't mean that whatever your issue is, that you called in the wrong angel. It doesn't matter.
That doesn't even compute. You cannot call in a wrong angel.
Mm-mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, you will call in the angel that is perfect for you
Yeah.
and the situation, and trust.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
we have
okay.
2 honorable mentions, and you shared this with me. They're honorable mentions because they've walked the earth and descended to the archangel realm. And the first one is Metatron.
Metatron. Metatron. And yeah, Metatron in the Bible was Enoch. Um, but also Metatron is the one that comes in, and I always call in Archangel Metatron to clear out and charge up my chakras.
There you go. There's
I
there
mean,
there was that conversation about the chakras, and do it. Yeah,
I do this whole thing. I'm like, come in and dust out and charge up, and I see them being dusted out and then really glowing, and so that's what I use Metatron for.
I love that. I love that. And the second honorable mention is
Sandophon, who was Elijah, yes, and Archangel Sandophon, and again walked the earth, did so well on earth, I guess. I mean, as the story goes, that God or the supreme being, source, whatever, was like, well, you have it's like a bodhisattva or
mhm, yeah,
it's an ascended master is really what they are. I think all of these are really like ascended masters.
yeah.
Uh, so yeah, so he was Elijah in the Bible, and I can't remember what Sandophon. I think Sandophon's all about really about love and stuff, but as they all are. Oh, here, gentleness. Sandophon, be
No.
very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So, I mean, and there's lots of different messages from each angel. This isn't like these particular cards that I've picked out that have these.
Hmm.
There's many different things there. You can't pigeonhole them.
Yeah. And I think, yes, more discussion on this topic. I want to learn and understand more. And Thankful agrees. Good conversation going on in chat. Good point, Gerald and Jane. I used to be picky about calling the right archangel for the right reason. They all want to help and guide us. And for me is names are very important for me. Names have power, and there's this idea is if you can name something, you can control it, you can change it. So it's like in therapy. If I thought I was angry, but it's actually disappointment about something else, then I can name that, and then therefore it no longer controls me. So for me, this is again, for educational blah 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 purposes only. If I have an archangel that I work with, I'm not necessarily sharing that because that's part of how I operate. It's to keep silent because it's for me, and the spirit guides do the same thing. If you're comfortable with it, great, do that. Um, Linda had
Yeah.
Zydekel.
Zadko.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, call on the angels, and don't limit yourself. Yeah. So I'm so new to connecting with the angels, Jane. How do you learn all of the different names, biblical versus other name? It's a wonderful question.
Whew, a lot of research. Like I said, and it's everywhere, and everybody. There's a lot of different. That's why it can be confusing to try and keep them all straight. And but I used this book was
Yeah.
what really got me started, and these cards, which Scott was asking, these you can't get these anymore. the Dorian Virtue Archangel cards. But I really do like, if you're going to get an Archangel deck and you want to work with a deck, because I think working with a deck really helps to connect with an angel. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I first started my channel over a year ago, every single morning I was pulling just angels, and then we were talking about those particular angels. And Gerald and I, when Gerald and I get together, we will pull an angel message in the beginning of our lives, and then we will see how that message gets interwoven throughout all of the readings. And you can see that.
And I Yeah, and I think you bring up a really important point is if you want to start learning about them, there's a lot of ability to do research. I encourage you to take notes on what you see and what you read, because a lot of times for me, if I write it down, it helps me to remember it and to recall it. And I think it's one of those things that it's practice. If you find a deck that you like that is angel focused, I think it's a great opportunity for you to read that book, play with those cards, see what happens. And I think that is just a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Yeah, and I like this Diana
You're welcome.
Cooper's Archangel book, as Archangels as well. That's what I
Hmm.
got to replace my Doreen Virtue, because these won't shuffle anymore because they're so old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't buy them anymore. But at any rate,
And I did see Backyard Naturalist come in. Interesting tidbit as far as tarot plus archangels. I've heard the tetramorph on RWS Thoth world cards interpreted as Raphael, man, Gabriel, eagle, Michael, lion, and Uriel, ox. I mean, oh,
I think
yeah, that makes perfect sense.
it
And I
really
realized I said Gabriel instead of Gabriel, but
it doesn't, like I said, it really doesn't matter, because angels actually are they're androgynous. But you can. But if at the time you need a female energy or a male energy, I mean, they can be whichever energy you need at the time, I believe.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay. Now, this being said, everybody, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, because guess what? These are all of the notes that I had, and we've covered about that much. And Jane, what do you want to share about encouraging people to work with their angels or their guides or whatever? What do you suggest as a first option?
as a first option, I would throw out any preconceived notions that you have about, like Ms. Tarot D grappling with the whole Catholic Christianity aspect of it. And just start playing with it. Start
Hmm.
calling in angels. Start um meditating and call in, you know, see who wants to come and play with you,
Hmm.
and see how you feel.
I think that's a beautiful idea. I think taking something mundane like washing your hands, washing the dishes, tying your shoes, just go, hi angels, hi guides.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, just keep
um,
communicating. Oh, and another thing that I do, that I've been doing for a long time, is I will pull a couple of angels in the morning, and then I will and I need to start posting this more. And then I put the crystals associated with those angels in a
oh,
little
nice,
bag, and then I sleep with the angel card and the crystals under my pillow at night.
beautiful. Jamie asked, what was the resources that were talked about? Did you have an angel encyclopedia? What was that book? Could you hold that book
Oh
up?
yeah, it's called the Angel Bible, this one that I have.
Hmm.
But I think there's, I'll be honest, this is a really nice book, but it's a very confusing and really goes around and all different kinds of, but it's a good one, and it's got a lot of different information in it, and it's got the meditations that you can use to go to certain retreats. And you know, why invite angels into your life? I mean, it just gives you it,
Yeah.
like we were just saying, well, why would I do this? How would I do this? So and this just gives a good little, like, what are angels, why do we use them, how do we start to use them?
And I encourage people to really try to suspend your disbelief, and we all have limitations, and just I always try to be curious and to push against my limitations, not kicking and screaming. Well, sometimes I do kick and scream against my limitations, if I'm honest. But I think the idea of just leaning into that which is unknown and be curious about it, I think that could be amazing.
Yeah.
And Ms. Tara D said, I Googled that Raphael is the Archangel of Healing. I think I will start with them. Um,
Yeah.
I think they're already started with you, Miss Thang.
Yeah.
Just say hi, say thanks. So, yeah, I know me. So, yeah, maybe work with them instead of use them. Yes.
Hmm.
And we all have our strengths and we
Yeah.
all have our opportunities. And I think that's, wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I was so excited when Gerald said he wanted to do this, because I just know that Gerald's chat has so much knowledge and wisdom in it. I was like, man, we're
It's
gonna
amazing.
we're gonna get great information from the
Yeah.
chat. I was like, maybe I'll just come here and I'll just wait for the chat to talk.
Well, we can set that up, and we can do that. I want to Pia's life. Yes, after being taught Christianity for 20 years, it's new to realize there is so much more to learn, see, partake in. I still believe in the Lord, but consider myself an eclectic spiritualist. I take so much more into consideration, but that guilty feeling the church puts on a person takes time to get past. Absolutely. That is well said. And I think it's one of those things that it's all part of our growth. If we show up and we're willing to do our work, that work can be, I need to see more light. I need to see the stuff that's hard to see, whatever. It's great.
And
So,
and then another thing, when people are like, how do I know if I'm working with my angels, or what can I do? Or I just want to encourage you, if you see a number, angel numbers, any number you see, 1111, 1212, 222, 333, 444, whatever it is, anything, your birth date, I see, I keep seeing my birth
mhm.
date, like maybe because it's coming up, I'm not sure, but I keep seeing that number. Whenever you see one of those numbers, try to think about what you were thinking when you saw that number.
Oh, nice. Uh-huh. And I think just a little bit of attention and appreciation. I do think for me personally, if I write it down, it helps manifest it and it helps me remember it. That's how I work. You do you. You do what gives you power. I will always say that.
Yeah.
So,
And have
uh,
gratitude.
gratitude is a huge thing.
Hmm.
Huge thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Jane. This has been wonderful. I
Well, thank you,
mean,
Carol. This has been great, and thank you, chat.
wow, chat's good. Chat's good. And so as soon as we finish up with this, we will figure out the next one to do. So, but all right. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I am so glad you're here. Bye.